Howard Hurst. I'm a teacher at Waimea Middle School. Here today as a private citizen. Kind of a shame that every time we talk about this, we have to step out of our role as a state employee and in order to talk about something that's seriously going on. A founding member of our group, Matthew Snowden, I just wanted to raise your hand, Matt. This is a movement shot of our school. The big square building that's closest to the ag lands is known as the T building. The windows to that face the field. The other buildings that you see sort of parallel lines, their windows face Mako and Makai. You guys might have been reading about in the paper, we've had, in the paper they state that there were 3 incidents, but there's been too many to count actually. That one building, T building, was evacuated about, almost 7 times last year, and only 2 of them were in the paper. Let me see if we can get this thing going. There we go. This is a view from a classroom. You actually hear these machines before you start to smell them. There's quite a racket. Before we started making ruckus about all this, they were doing this in the middle of the school, in the middle of the day. This would be going on. This was from last year. You can see the spray becoming airborne and drifting behind the vehicle. That distance right there from our fence is a little bit over 150 yards or so. As soon as they're there, you can start smelling them. Some other shots. If you look carefully at the orange telltales, you'll see that the wind's pointing directly at the school. If you're from the west side, then you know most afternoons that's what our wind does. Our wind turns west, northwest, almost every afternoon. There's a better shot. You can see the pesticide becoming airborne and the telltales right at our school. Initially, we were able to correlate between these spray incidents and the following day, all these children reporting to the health aide with these flu-like symptoms. The health aide would send out these spike notices, these emails, and we started to see after a while that, wow, they started coming a day, 2 days after these spray activity was going on. When that became public notice, it stopped. The notices from the health aide stopped, and we were no longer able to track it. DOH hasn't made that attempt. You again can see behind the vehicle as well, this airborne, and as the corn got higher, it was raised up, making it even more able to catch the wind and go with the spray. This is a storage facility that they would use outside. We had a friend took this for us. That's how they secure their chemicals and their pesticides. 2 of them last year that we were able to confirm that they were using out there. The touchdown on the bottom, we've been told you can bathe your dog in it, but there's recent findings that it makes a woman's placenta not strong enough to carry a baby to term, a number of other things. Eradicate is a nerve agent. It's an organophosphate. It particularly targets children of reproductive age, those organs. These are mixes that they put in with it. According to Dr. Lauren Pang, you can read the MSDS and it'll seem all benign, but when you mix these agents together, it becomes something deadly, particularly for children. This was an interesting thing. Part of us being here tonight is to thank you guys. There's been a real outpouring from the other coalitions, and we really, really appreciate it. We're pretty reluctant activists ourselves. We're just trying to do our job, serve. And this has kind of been thrown on us. And when we saw them lining up to spray last year, we kind of looked at each other now and said, well, we're going to take on this battle. And it's a David and Goliath battle. You know, already you guys, if you've been following our bill, the 3170, it's already sort of been really watered down, and who knows what else is going on, but it seems that it's a dead deal as far as a pesticide-free zone. My last understanding was now that the Department of Health and the Department of Agriculture are going to become the sort of wolves guarding the hen house, and they're going to investigate if this is actually an issue or not. These 2 gentlemen are from UH. They wrote this on UH letterhead in the testimony, and in the beginning, their concern is business. It's all about monetary. But then their last little sentence there, that they feel that there should be a buffer zone for these organophosphates, which is exactly what they're using next to our school. So there's a bit of a dichotomy there. we're also your teachers, and we ask you just to circle and underline things that you're feeling. Out of that group, the headache, the nausea, chest constriction, difficulty breathing, some people were confused about some of the terms. However, this was just a quick 2-second kind of survey, and all the high spikes, the peaks, are found on the MSDS that we've already proven that they've sprayed, but yet that has never, the focus has always been in the news and that it's the stinkweed. We were fortunate, we got HSDA involved there for this last incident, and the teachers kind of got together and went out one morning. A lot of people, perhaps even in this room, wrote to me if they had more notice, and we actually had one day, like 3 o'clock one afternoon, the union got behind us, we made these signs after the next morning because they were going to spray that following Friday. So, most of the individuals that came out also have been, suffering the symptoms of exposure. So, thanks for having us tonight. We have some cards if you don't know the blog site or anything. And, thank you very much for your support. We're not done yet, so they're still going to spray this in December. They're putting it off to next December. But there are actually other fields that we're being affected by. And if you've read anything about GMO pollen, many of our children are having heightened asthma, difficulty breathing, and it's almost, you look out and there's the pollinating corn right out there. Don't really know what else to say, but if you guys can help us out. All very important issues tonight, but take a look at the blog.